you may have heard of this term if someone's talking about being impulsive, or doing things impulsively, whether it's someone who's gambling, making bad choices, uh, eating something they didn't want to eat. It could be anything. A number of things that's done impulsively obviously would be helped by something called behavioral or cognitive inhibition. So inhibition, behavioral or cognitive inhibition, is actually part of your executive functions. It is an executive function. It happens to be foundational. And what I mean by that is that a number of other crucial executive functions, at least 4 of them, are dependent on inhibition, on your ability to inhibit a response, to delay a response, withhold, etc., in order to enact those other self-directed actions. That is what an executive function is. It is a self-directed action that helps or leads towards goal attainment or self-regulation. When we talk about executive functions, we're also talking about self-regulation. These are self-directed actions that help you regulate yourself. Let's say you have some kind of weight loss goals, or you have a gambling or drinking problem, or smoking, whatever it is, or you know you shouldn't go out with someone, yet you do it anyways. And you don't stop to think. There is no delay or pause between the urge, the desire, the thought, and the response. We call them responses. This is the eventual action or the next thought in line. That's the thing that you want to prevent under ideal circumstances, but you find yourself doing it, and then later on you feel sorry, but you're regretful. You feel bad that you did it. So the executive functions that are helped by inhibition are working memory and self-directed speech. This is self-talk, which you'll find is very crucial, very important for an adult to have self-talk. This is one of the ways that you regulate yourself and you control your behaviors and you pursue goals and goal-directed actions. Another one is reconstitution. It's the analysis and synthesis of information, of ideas. And the fourth one, there we go. It's ability to control your emotions, your arousal. So it's the control of emotions. Okay, motivation, emotion, arousal. So these 4 executive functions are dependent on, they're not caused by, but they're dependent on your ability to inhibit a response. Now, when we talk about inhibition, whether it's behavioral or cognitive inhibition, there's 3 types of inhibition. Number 1, and this is very important. The first type of inhibition is to delay. It's to stop what's called in neuropsychology the prepotent response. It's just, sorry, there's flies here. You might see me swatting. There's a lot of flies and mosquitoes in the mountains here. So you want to stop what is called the prepotent response, which is the response that's been attached to the thought, the urge, the desire, and which you end up doing regularly. So you've attached some emotion to it. It's been conditioned in you, whatever the cause is. You know, I see some alcohol, I just got to drink. I see peanuts, I can't resist myself. I've got to eat it. Chocolate, whatever it is, that's your problem. Or you get an urge to do something you know is not good for you, yet you do it anyway. So the first type of inhibition is to stop the response. The second type of inhibition is to stop an ongoing response, right? Where you find yourself doing the thing that you don't want to do, or it's not good for you, or doesn't help you achieve your goals. You're already doing it. Like, let's say somebody's smoking, or let's say someone's having a drink, or you're eating chocolate cake or something late at night and you don't want to do that. You're already doing it, right? You already fell into it. And so the second type of inhibition is stopping something when it's ongoing. The third type of inhibition Oh, got it. The third type of inhibition, and thank you so much for your patience here. The third type of inhibition is um, it's called interference control. So it's being able to prevent distractions or disruptions from what you're doing. From, let's say, goal-directed action, goal-directed behavior or thinking, you've got disruptions, interruptions, and it could be internal, right? It could be thoughts, intrusive thoughts. It could be urges, desires, could be anything internal, and it could be external, right? As you know, we're constantly faced with distractions and disruptions in the world around us, from people close to us or whatever our environment is, to social media, our phones, whatever it is. And I'm keeping it really simple here, but the distraction or disruption could be more severe, or could be some simple, trivial things like I mentioned here. Okay, so these are the three types of inhibition. The third one, remember, inhibitory. It's the being able to prevent disruption or distraction. Okay, so we will be speaking more about this in the future, but specifically as it helps the other executive functions. Okay, the interference control to improve our ability to inhibit unwanted thoughts or actions, right? And either of those three, right? To stop something we don't want to start, we don't want to do, we don't want to think about. I made a video, by the way, about intrusive thoughts. These are internal events that we also want to inhibit. What we want to do, beginning today, is to help ourselves by inhibiting, by strengthening our inhibitory control, our ability to inhibit thoughts and actions, behaviors that are undesirable, do not help us in achieving our goals. We haven't gotten down to the very bottom of that, right? I mean, we have ideas of how to control this or how to help this. I'll share those with you right now. For example, some practices you can try to strengthen your inhibitory strength is to add a delay. Like, I won't make a decision. I won't take any action for 10 minutes, right? Like somebody have a drinking or smoking problem, or any other type of addiction, right? There's so many different kinds of addictions. So I'll enact a delay of 10 minutes. I won't do anything. And so I'll share with you what I've been doing that I think is so much more effective. Is So, like, let's say, for example, your problem is eating late at night, or eating something that you know you shouldn't eat, and or going out with someone, or doing whatever it is, right? So, you know that you may be more tired at night, you have less energy, and when you have less energy, what they call willpower is weakened, and they say that even the current science says you have this limited gas tank of energy for willpower or self-regulation that can be exhausted. And once it's exhausted, well, then you're less able to control yourself with anything else right afterward. So in the evening, let's say we're less energetic, we're less able to resist urges or temptations. And eating is one of them. I'm going to use that as a simple example. It affects so many of us. And so what I found is that at night, I didn't want to eat, and I might see it in front of me, or I get anxious, nervous, bored, lonely, whatever it is, and I feel like I've got to do it, because if I don't, I'm going to go crazy. So I end up eating. And I try to be easy and nice, compassionate with myself, and allow myself to do it. What happens at that point, and it could be, again, any action, event, thought that is not good for you that you end up doing, at that point, you've got a number of different drives, and I think that here the science, or the researchers or scientists, are kind of in different specialties, and they're not combining them. Remember, we did some videos about the drives, the inner drives that comprise the ego or the id. So these are energetic drives, and we should be connecting the two, the executive functions and the prefrontal lobes or cortex, with our drives. And because these are emotionally charged, energetic drives, and so far in the science, I haven't seen any research that combines these two. But it's very important because when you feel compelled to do something that you don't want to do, and you're tired or whatever, or it's late, you feel like there's conflicting drives or motivations in you. One during the day or early on, you knew it was not good for you. And now you find yourself using your own inner voice, persuading yourself why you want to let yourself do it. And, it could be having some food that you don't want to have. And so you end up losing a lot of the time because this drive is so strong and there's conflicting drives. So we end up losing. And I know from experience that if we have rules in place or goals, that we make it a lot easier for ourselves and we don't fall into these traps. This is the real value of goals, that you hear everybody telling you online you should have goals. Nobody explains the science behind it. Nobody understands it. Just say, oh, just have goals. It seems like it works. The reason why goals work is that it takes it takes the deliberation, the evaluation, the time needed to conduct this analysis in your mind. It takes it it avoids having to do that. And when you're driven to do something is not good for you, to have some alcohol, to have a smoke, to partake in something that with someone else is not good for you. The drives and motivation is so strong that you don't even have a second to think about it. You're actually trying to create a delay, this inhibitory delay, so that your executive functions can kick in and work, right? So we're trying to strengthen our inhibition to create some delay. But if you have a goal or a rule, it helps you because you really don't need that much space anymore. The rule kicks in, and you've created this rule for yourself, or this goal. Goal is, I just don't eat this kind of food. I don't drink alcohol. I don't smoke. I'm not going to do anything with so-and-so. And when you have the rule, then in the time of need, the rule kicks in, and there's no need to deliberate anymore. Your other executive actions that you originally wanted to create space for so that they can kick in and do the deliberation, there's no more need for that. Rules are critical. They're crucial. They're indispensable. So that you're going to find later on, if we continue to talk about the practical tools, lessons, or strategies, rules are going to be in the top. It's, I think, the absolute top. Goals as well. And remember, I wanted to just briefly tell you that it's not enough just to have a goal. Even if you have a goal, you will lose if the goal is not tied to emotion. You have to emotionally charge your goals, because remember, your drives and desires are emotionally charged. If your goal is not, it's going to lose. So if you have a weight loss goal, or if you have a goal to study this or do that or achieve this, if the goal is not emotionally charged, then it's going to lose to other inner drives that are emotionally charged. So we have to have goals. We have to emotionally charge those goals. How do you do that? When you attach a goal to an image of a future state that you want, and you think about how you would feel if you want to lose weight or eat healthier, and you try to imagine how you would look with a slimmer waist, and then think about how you would feel, how the attention you would get, the feeling you would have being out in the open, in public, and so being able to fit into clothing you like. Or if you were to stop drinking, you would feel better, and imagine that, and to get the feeling. And so this positive reinforcement to the goal is going to help you. The stronger the goal is, when the need comes up, it will help you to inhibit the behaviors or thoughts or actions that you want to prevent. Okay, so goals and rules are crucial. The rule is, for example, I only eat these kinds of categories of foods, and for me it's protein, fruit, vegetable, period. If it's not on this list of 3, then I don't touch it. And at night I will graze, but it's still from these three categories. So I'm in good shape. And the rules have been indispensable. There's a lot of other things, a number of other things we can do, and I'm going to save those for a later time. But I wanted to share those things with you. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks.